I just want to start off by saying our thoughts are with our fallen comrade today, James, who couldn't be here unfortunately.
Enough about that. Showdown Championship Tournament on the semi-finals. I'm in a semi-final.
I'm in a semi-final.
You're in a semi-final?
I am, yeah.
So there's 4 guys.
And 2 contingency plan members.
I'd say that gives us, is that 50%
chance?
But then, if you get my back.
I've got your back.
And I've got your back.
Oh, definitely.
I would say that's pretty...
The maths adds up about 133.2% that we're going to win this tournament.
One is definitely going to win it. We don't need a contingency plan, do we?
No. Welcome folks, it's the edition of Wrestling Showdown you have all been waiting for, because not only am I going to tell you about where and when our next set of live events will be, yeah, and we've been waiting for it, but this week sees the very first semi-final in the Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament. Now if you've been following us here on Showdown, as I assume you have, you've subscribed, right? You all know that we started the tournament with 8 men. 4 were eliminated in the first round. We have 4 men left. They've been paired off into 2 semi-finals and we're about to see the first one imminently. The winner of the tournament will of course become the first ever Wrestling Showdown champion. A championship that will be exclusively defended right here on Wrestling Showdown. So it's high stakes indeed in this first semi-final. We're about to see pits 2 rivals against each other. Kevin Williams overcame the very good Mr. UNG Mackey to advance. Dickie Divers overcame Big Dave Jeremy. These 2 men are going to go at it one-on-one in just a moment. And this of course comes on the heels of the 2 of them wrestling for the Tag Team Championship back at Remedy. Williams is co-holder of the tag title. So is he going to advance? Is he going to end up being the first Wrestling Showdown champion and one half of the tag champions at the same time? Anything can happen here in W3L. Let's find out what happens by going down to ringside for this week's match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is a 1-fall singles match and is a Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament semi-final contest. And this is your first participant coming to the ring with Taylor Bryden and representing the contingency plan from Raccoon City, weighing 205 pounds, this is Dickie Divers. And into his opponent, he is from the 8-bit subspace superhighway at 200 megapixels. He is one half of the W3L Tag Team Champions, Kevin Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown. And our Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament will continue. This is the first of the semi-final contests. Dickie Divers in the pink and black singlet, joined by Taylor Bryden in pretty much the same colours, taking on the blue and black clad singleted Kevin Williams. 2 men they have wrestled umpteen times, generally in the tag team division, most notably at Remedy back in February, where it was Kevin Williams and Jason Reed retaining the tag team championship over that pairing there, Divers and Taylor Bryden. So one of these men is going to advance into the finals. Will it be Divers? Will it be Williams? Of course, Williams has the tag team championship already, so he potentially can become a double champion, holding singles and tag team gold at the same time. Rare occurrence here in W3L. But of course he has to get past Dickie Divers, who has Taylor Bryden at ringside. And I would expect that Bryden will make his presence felt sooner rather than later, because they're the contingency plan, and that's exactly what they have a tendency of doing. And the interesting question becomes, if Divers gets past Williams, which is going to be no easy task, and Bryden should get past Mike Musso, which will be our next semi-final, we could see Divers versus Bryden in the finals. And I'm not quite sure how that would affect the plan, but I guess that's a bridge that should be crossed when it gets reached. Divers is going to warm up here with some jumping jacks. Williams relaxing, no sense expending energy unnecessarily. Again, both men know what the other brings to the table, particularly when there's gold on the line. And alright, the winner of this match doesn't directly gain a championship, however, they will advance to the finals of the tournament. And of course, if you win the tournament, not only do you become the Wrestling Showdown champion, but you become the first ever Wrestling Showdown champion. So effectively what that means is that you'll go down in history as being the inaugural champion. And of course, no matter what happens, no matter how long your reign is, no matter who you defeat or who defeats you to take the championship from you, you'll always be the first ever champion. Williams certainly the more popular of the two men, well, three if you include Bryden, currently controlling Divers' arm. And Divers immediately goes to the ropes. Just like I said before, why expend energy unnecessarily instead of trying to... Oh, Williams with a little cheeky kick to the ropes just to remind him that he's there. Don't need to turn your back on Williams. He advanced the tournament by defeating the very good Mr. UNG Mackey back at the start of February. Gained the victory, but it was attacked afterwards by Mackey, which led to Prince Assad and Saqib Ali coming out and attacking Williams and stealing his tag title belt, which obviously has since got back. And Assad and Ali still on the horizon, still determined to get themselves a tag team title rematch, because Williams can't discount them. I'm not sure if they're in the building here this week on Showdown, but they may make their presence felt. Let's hope we don't have that happen. We want a clean sporting contest, may the best man win and all that. Williams firmly controlling the arm, and Divers had nowhere to go. It was twisted so often he had to crash the floor, and he heads to the back of the building. Now I do not imagine he's going to spend enough time to be counted out. If he's not careful and doesn't pay attention, the referee's count is a possibility. Divers for his part overcame Big Dave Jeremy, who we saw in action last week. It was in the middle of February. Divers won his opening round match, had to smack Jeremy in the head with a chair, which is hardly a surprise for Divers. We've seen him do things like that in the past, but it just shows that he needed to use that metal object, which is aimed for sitting on and not hitting people over the head with, to get past Jeremy. And now Divers goes to wrist lock on Williams. Twisting at the fingers, it looks like, and stamps on the hand. It's going to make it difficult for Williams to pick Divers up, or just use a lot of his favourite moves, things like the game over or the critical. You hear Williams screaming in pain. Divers is working away on his hand. And of course, as he stamps it again, the main thing you have to consider is that you can't play a video games console with only one hand. You need both hands for the controller, so that's going to make Williams' favourite pastime nigh on impossible. Because I'm sure you know, because Williams plays so many video games, he has a very, very fast reaction time. And he's got tremendous tendon strength in his hands. It's the equivalent of the iron sheep when he used to swing those Persian clubs around. He may not have left him with the most jacked up muscular arms you've ever seen, but his tendons and the sinews and the muscles were incredibly powerful, and Williams is exactly the same. That's why his spinning clothesline move that he likes to use, the game over, has defeated a whole list of opponents. Even clapping's hurting his hand there. So he runs in, and he really needs, I think anyway, to keep Divers away from the ropes, because of course Bryden lurking at ringside. Williams has to keep half an eye on him. You can see Bryden itching to get involved, but he knows he can't. If the referee should rule it as a DQ, Divers is out the tournament. course, the contingency plan. And Bryden just casually tripping Williams, as you had to expect was going to happen at some point. Divers taking the advantage, trying for the pinfall. Bryden nonchalantly saying nothing to do with me, don't know what was going on. Jason Reed conspicuous by his absence here. Perhaps it was felt that he wouldn't be needed, but of course, so one member of the contingency plan goes, the others invariably follow. Because these two teams really, again, Divers and Moons having met most often in the tag ranks, have exchanged the tag team championship. Reed and Williams' first ever time teaming up back in the end of December 2015 here on Showdown was against the contingency plan. Divers and Bryden for the championship as well. Back in October of 2016, is Bryden just mugging Williams on the floor. We actually had Williams versus Divers in a one-on-one singles contest, and it was Williams that gained the victory. He's hoping for a repeat of that here. That match was not without his interference from both men's respective tag team partner. And Divers straight for the cover again, knows to take the opportunity whenever it arises. Because at Remedy this year, we saw Reed and Williams retaining against Bryden and Divers. Remedy last year, which is available to watch on the W3L network, it was Divers and Bryden defending against Reed and Williams. It was Jason Reed had seemingly hit Divers with a chair. He hadn't, but the referee thought he had, so the disqualification was called, and the plan retained the belts that way. Divers unhappy with the cadence of the referee's count, because it should have been a 3. Williams no easy man to put down, however. As you can see, firing away. Divers just cutting him off. And it's been a bit like a handicap match. Bryden interfering twice so far. Certainly putting Williams on the back foot. But he's not going to go down without a fight. Certainly singles gold has eluded Williams in his W3L tenure. Now a current and indeed two-time tag team champion. Divers just throttles on the ropes. Divers 4 tag title reigns he's held. And Divers being booed, so he feeds off that, just revels in being disliked. And a big splash to Kevin Williams, not quite got the girth. He may be the most svelte person in W3L, but he's not really up to kind of gigantic Big Daddy-esque standards, but you know, native of 2. Williams to the floor. We can almost guess what's going to happen next. We saw the communication, and Bryden getting involved, picks up Williams and just body slams him on the floor. And of course, it's a solid wooden floor, no mats, no padding, and Williams has tasted every single bit of it. The audience is getting on Divers' case. Referee count to 5. Of course, the Williams fails to get in by 10. Divers will advance via count out. Is it 7? It's a real possibility now. Williams barely stunning. We're at 9. And Williams just rolls in. Force of effort there. I think that goes to show you just how much he wants this. Divers complain it should have been a 10, but Williams is in. Referee's call. He decides, and indeed he says that Williams is in well in time. Here comes Bryden again, pinning back Williams' arms. He's not technically done anything. The referee's seen holding him's tenuous, but it's not technically. Oh, almost hit each other. And now they did. They collide head first. Williams with a roll up, but Divers kicks out. He and Bryden colliding, and this is giving Williams the opportunity. He needs to come back at him with these Hadoukens. Now hooks at the bomb and drops down Divers. Don't know how effective it would be with Williams' hand being injured, and he just gets out with a Samoan drop. Drops with a back slam. Goes to that cover, just a little hesitancy there, and Bryden pulling Divers' foot on the ropes. If Williams had been a second or two quicker, he may have got it. Certainly if Bryden hadn't put Diver's foot in the ropes, he may definitely have got it. And Bryden again on the apron, just goading Williams in. This is the difficulty having a manager or a second at ringside. Divers holding up the ropes for all he's worth. Williams trying to pull him away from the corner. And Bryden goes flying. The referee doesn't know where to look, trying to get rid of Bryden. Diver's got a chair. This is what he did to Jeremy. And he smashes Williams in the head. That's exactly how he beat Big Dave Jeremy to advance the semi-finals. And he does it again. Dickie Divers leaves with a chair, steals the win, and will advance in the tournament. And Bryden putting the boots. Let's get the official announcement of the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and advancing in the tournament, Dickie Divers.
So 2 times in a row we've seen illegal usage of a chair, once to Dave Jeremy, once to Kevin Williams, and this means that Dickie Divers has advanced in the tournament. He is now in the finals, but the question remains, who is he going to face? Will it be Mike Musso, or will it be his tag team partner Taylor Bryden? You will find out by keeping it tuned here on Wrestling Showdown.
Dickie Divers advances into the finals of the Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament, but the question we'll have to ask is, who will face him? You'll find that out in 7 days' time, because next week is the second semi-final match in the Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament. It'll be Mike Musso against Taylor Bryden. Are we going to see an all contingency plan final? It's looking very likely. You'll find that out in 7 days' time right here on the network, so make sure you have subscribed. Now, I mentioned live events. You've been chomping at the bit to find out where they are and when, so strap yourselves in. It all goes down in the month of May. That's our next set of live events. So we've got 5 events coming your way. On May the 11th, we're going to be heading south of the border. We return to Todmorden for a live event. They are followed the next day on the 12th by going back to Newcastle. So if you're a south of the border W3L fan, come along and see us live and in person. Then later in the month, on the 25th of May, we head to Musselburgh. No, it's not Resolution yet, but it's a big event at Musselburgh. Do not miss this one. The day after, the 26th, we go back to the Carnegie Leisure Centre in Dunfermline, the site of the first ever live Wrestling Showdown last year, let's not forget. And then the day after that, on the Sunday, we round things out by heading back to Grangemouth, one of our favourite venues. So that is 5 big events coming your way in May. I'm pretty sure you're near one of them, or you can get to one of them. Whether you're north or south of the border, you can come and see us live, because nothing beats seeing W3L in the flesh. To come along, you'll need to get yourself a ticket, and you can do that by going to our website. We're at w3lwrestling.com. You can find your tickets there, information about W3L, the online shop, and so much more. Make sure you give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter as well. We're on Instagram too, look us up there. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you'll never miss any Wrestling Showdown footage. And of course, use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown whenever you talk about this show. Tell us who you think will be advancing in the finals of the Wrestling Showdown tournament against Dickie Divers, Bryden, Musso. It'll be one of them, and it'll go down next week. So join me back here in 7 days for the second semi-final. It's certainly going to be historic. I'll see you back here in 7 days' time.